Hey guys, welcome back. Welcome to another Monday Night Tech Talk with Eric. Glad you could join me tonight. Hopefully we can get the streaming settings to work out in our favor tonight again. Having pretty good luck so far. Hopefully we get some people to join us tonight. Before I get started, I'll mention this a couple of times. Later on in the broadcast, I'm going to open up the Skype line and we'll take some calls from you guys. Hopefully we can have a little bit of luck with that. You'll find the Skype username to add just up there and scrolling across. So hopefully we can get talking to you guys tonight, and it won't just be me talking directly at you guys. And it looks like we have the chat working tonight. There's going to be a bit of lag, just FYI, guys. YouTube tends to lag on the chat side just by a few moments, as well as the video. So if you call in with Skype, remember to mute your YouTube audio because it will be slightly delayed, whereas Skype will be real time with me. So Great Network says, just look when I was about to go to sleep. Oh, good to have you. New name that I haven't seen before. Glad you could join us tonight. Hopefully enjoy the cast. This is my time with you guys, and I'm really starting to enjoy it. If you guys could let me know in the chat how the audio and video is coming across, I'd really appreciate that. We're still working out some of the bugs with the YouTube feed. What we're finding is I've gone away from the Google Plus version and stuck with strictly the YouTube side of things, and we're having a lot better luck with it. The audio and video encoding I'm able to do a little bit better, other than a couple of stutters here and there, which I'm not sure whether on the encoding side or on the YouTube side just yet, but we're working through them. This is only number 3 of the live broadcasts, and I look forward to making this an ongoing event. Hopefully we can just keep this going. I'm just going to work out a couple of the tech details here, guys, and we'll go ahead and get started. I see Gregor is with us and Rui as well, saying hi and all good. Thanks, Rui. Thanks, Gregor. Really appreciate it, guys. Good to see you back. Good to see some familiar faces. Again, if this is your first time joining this stream, it's generally just a hangout for all of us who share interests and share things via G Plus YouTube. A lot of content creators follow my channel, and I follow them back. And in turn, we get a lot of really cool stuff out of the deal. So this is my time that I'm just eating this up, guys. I'm really loving this, so hopefully we can keep this going as a regular occurrence. Like I said, still working out some of the technical details, but hey, it's a work in progress, guys. I'm gonna try and keep tonight's broadcast a little bit shorter than the hour, but hey, we'll see. If we get some Skype calls, it'll be what it'll be. I'm not gonna cut it too short. But I'm going to try and go for a little shorter run tonight. I'm going to start pulling up the content here, guys, what I've got laid out, and that in turn blocks my ability to see your chat. So just so you know, I'll be coming back to the chat window shortly. We'll start off with some items that I had for today. As usual, we have the From the Community corner. These are items that I've seen in my travels, or items that people have shared on the MakeMe.org G Plus community or on the forum, etc. This one was a little outside the forum. I just wanted to share this. A lot of people into software-defined radio follow the channel. And as most of you know, I'm pretty heavy into the amateur radio, using a lot of the SDR stuff. I just get a blast out of this. On the RTLSDR.com blog, this was posted recently, June 4th, and this was regarding the HackRF. So what they did was use the HackRF. For anybody who doesn't know what that is basically an SDR that's capable of transmit. And I think these things, I don't know what the current retail is, but I want to say it was well under $500. This thing is a really powerful tool. So what they did is they went ahead and they spoofed ADSB, which is Aircraft Location Beacon, and then received it again via the software-defined radio. And if you want to check out this video and this post, just go over to the RTL SDR website, the blog, and you'll find it posted there. I wanted to comment on this because this honestly scares the hell out of me, guys. The Hack RF is a crazy powerful tool, and we'll come back to that. The software-defined radios are getting a huge amount of publicity lately. You've seen them maybe on Hackaday, you've seen them on Twit TV. I'm not sure, I'm pretty sure Adafruit even might have done a tutorial on it, on using the software-defined, the little USB dongles, I don't have one handy here, to receive whatever you want. Well, then we move into the Hack RF, which allows you to basically transmit whatever you want. And though this one, you can see on the screen, they mention dangerous, do not transmit, blah, blah, blah. My fear is people will. And if you put this thing through an amplifier and blast out on the ADSB frequency, you can park a 747 in front of a normal, like an actual commercial flight, and cause them to take evasive maneuvers because air traffic control will vector them to do that. It probably won't set off the TCAS system, but don't quote me on that. Regardless, it will cause mass chaos, and this is only one tiny little example. I'm hoping that people will stick to the greater good, but the fact that this information is available and that the receive side is getting so much publicity lately, guys, I just have this nagging fear that the nefarious people out there will do some pretty silly things. And again, this is just one example, albeit probably an extreme example, but yes, you can take a sub $500 transmitter and cause aircraft to vector around said aircraft, or at least cause mass pandemonium. I don't know where it's going to go, guys, but these guys did it in low power. Others have done it before. You've seen it on any of the hacker talks, I'm sure, if you follow the SDR community. But I just wanted to comment on it. It's kind of cool that I see this stuff getting so much publicity, but whenever we get the chance to put in a good word to keep it on the straight and narrow, we really should, guys. And got to get myself one of the Hack RFs. Got to try that thing. It just looks so cool. Next, this is something I shared this morning. Not because of the printer. So this is a 3D printer, yet again, another 3D printer. For anyone who follows my channel, you know I have a 3D printer. It's sitting right over there. I'm pretty into seeing them come down in price and become more mainstream. So this one is one of the lowest dollar ones I've seen yet as a commercial version at $249. I'm not pushing this product, guys, at all. In fact, I might even caution against it, but I don't know enough about it. The fact, though, is that I'm seeing a $249 3D printer come to the market. That excites me. They raised $516,000 of a $375,000 goal, and they got 24 days left. So obviously there's support for this stuff. Just too cool. The one thing I would caution, and I forget who posted it today as a response to my post on the MakeMe.org G+ community. I posted this particular one, guys. And they reminded about the fact that it doesn't seem to mention open source, and that is my caution. Whenever possible, if we're supporting a 3D printer, make sure you're supporting one that's open source. Whenever possible. Obviously, if there's a consumer version going out, if it gets people building, that's fine. you can hack the thing. This community alone, the people watching this generally, are probably the type that are going to hack the thing up, mod it, and make it better. So everything's kind of cool that way, but whenever possible, we want to make sure that the stuff's open source. But at the end of the day, somebody puts out a $250 3D printer to the mass market, I'm okay with it. Just get them out there. But that brings me to the next topic. I'll get back to the chat window soon, hopefully, I think, guys. Everybody has these in their homes, and I'm not sure whether anybody watching right now has a 3D printer, as I do, sitting right here, but there are some things to be concerned about. And here is a shot of, this is an actual fire, and the printer in the foreground there is the same printer I have. And not knocking the printer, we don't know what happened here. It's a Solidoodle 3D printer. They're made out of New York. I've had mine for nearly 2 years now, and nothing but the best of luck. But guys, just remember, these things are not certified in any way. They're not UL listed, they're not CSA listed. They are a standalone appliance that is sold, and I'm not sure how they even really get away with it without any without the certifications. But I can tell you from my experience in getting stuff ESA and CSA approved, mine is nowhere near adequate for any approvals. Not knocking it whatsoever, you have to understand the risks. But in this case, what happened, I posted the link on the makeme.org, the G Plus community. You can read all about it. The person ended up losing their home, and it was no doubt it was caused by the 3D printer. These things are heating ABS plastic, well, depending on what you're printing with. In my case, I'm using ABS, and I'm printing at 200 degrees Celsius. That is not far off the flash point for ABS plastic, guys. There is no fire suppression. There is no high temp shutdown even for the instances that this could happen. So a quick rundown of what can happen. We have a thermistor on the nozzle for the 3D printer. The thermistor tells the driver board how to regulate the heat for the nozzle and keep it exactly 200 degrees C. If that thermistor should become detached from the nozzle, it can no longer read the actual temperature. It'll read a cooler temperature, and the printer will drive the nozzle up in temp to the point where the ABS or whatever medium you're using can and will auto-ignite. There are not currently shutdowns in the firmware or overrides for this situation. They will run until they can't heat anymore, and you can see the results on the screen, guys. So what I propose, this is my thought to you guys that are watching this now and in the future. Whenever possible, ask these questions. We're not going to drive people to get them certified anytime soon. It'll be what it'll be. We don't want to stop everything dead. I'm willing to accept what mine is and understand its limitations and understand the risks and take mitigation. But going forward, we need to make sure people are aware of this, because the general consumer is not. And they need to know what they're buying without scare tactics. And going one step further, guys, this is what I'm thinking. We should build protections for these systems. We can build protections into the firmware, which is underway and even available, whereby if you don't see a change in nozzle temp in X amount of time of full bore heat, shut off. That would be one protection. We could take it one step further, and we could do enclosure. You can tell, if you haven't seen a 3D printer, most of them are enclosed in a box. We can do not thermistors. We can do temperature measurement inside the case. Anything above X temperature, do a shutdown on the printer. Might catch it soon enough. We can also do fire suppression systems, guys. In inert gas, even just CO2. we can probably do an easy valved system run by Arduino or any other microcontroller of your choice, and have it as a standalone backup to both sever power and dump the inert gas or whatever we could come up with. So if any of you guys are interested in something like that, I'd be all ears. I'd love to hear from you guys. I think we should take it on as a project, guys. I think it'd be a lot of fun. And maybe do something that's, I don't know whether we call it cutting edge, but it would be something to benefit the people of the future. So, hey, so be it. I'm just going to pan back to the chat here for a moment, guys. Rui says, HackRF costs $300, I think. I wish I had one too. Yes, Rui, I had that number in my head, but I didn't want to throw it out there because I hate to really under quote it, but I think it's not much more than $300. So, yeah. Great Network said ADSB, and more importantly, TISB is a huge tool that will save lives in the future. It is the only affordable traffic collision avoidance system in the market and a new standard for general aviation. False alarms will cause accidents. Yes, for anybody who doesn't know, ADSB has become the norm and is being adopted on most developed countries. Canada here hasn't mandated it completely yet. I think the official mandate for commercial is about a year out yet, but anybody can purchase it if they want to and put it on their aircraft, no problem. It's a little cost prohibitive yet, which is kind of funny because we can build those systems pretty cheap and easy now. But yeah, it's pretty standard now. And the TISB, I will have to look into that after the broadcast, because oddly enough, even with all my aircraft and aviation exposure, I'm not familiar with TISB, so got to check that out and see whether it's a variant on the ADSB. So that's the end of the comments. We're all caught up there, guys. We'll pan back and we'll see what else I had in order here. Perfect. So that's enough on the printer fires, I think. I don't want to scare anybody, but guys, don't be scared of 3D printer, but just be aware of what can happen. These things are not fully vetted yet. From the shop, I'm a little bit behind on everything. So the high altitude balloon, as most know, went off without a hitch. A few little hitches last Saturday. And I have not finished the video editing. I just can't get through the gobs and gobs of high altitude footage. I did a couple of quick cuts on the debrief that I overdubbed it, but I haven't got the video done, guys. I'm just slacking. I'm a horrible person, but I'm working on it. The InMove robot build, this is progressing. I did do actually a couple more 3D prints just the other day. I finished off the last couple of servo adapters so I can use some servos that I have in stock in my kind of heap here to finish off when I build the thing. Hopefully I'll be able to do a full sequence start to finish of the build of the videos and not get frustrated and stop videoing. I'll have hopefully all the parts I need to share it with you guys, and everything from the neck up, and hopefully everything will be active except for maybe the moving eyes. I have all the parts printed for that, but the webcam that I have devoted for that, for tracking, was giving me a little bit of trouble when I tested it the other day. So I'm really trying to lay this project out so I'll be able to document kind of every step of the way. And you guys will be able to see whatever pieces you like without, like I say, getting frustrated and kind of tossing it aside. And then I don't tend to pick up the video camera when I'm working on it. And I think a lot of people that are building these could really benefit from seeing it from start to finish. So, before I carry on there, guys, just a reminder, I will be opening the Skype lines in a little bit. Go ahead and you can add me at the Skype address on the top right of your screen if you're interested in calling in. Just remember when you do call in to mute your YouTube, and I'll let you know when I open up those lines. So, what else did I have? A little bit of a sneak peek for you guys. Some upcoming. This I mentioned last week on our Tech Talk. This was the voice recognition module I ordered from eBay. Probably the most expensive Arduino component I've purchased as of yet. And it was 26 bucks Canadian, 28, 22 American. And lo and behold, it arrived. So what I'm going to use this thing for, I think, and I'll give you a little look at it. That's the actual board that has the voice recognition on board. Comes with a cool little microphone. It also comes with a standalone, it's kind of like the FTDI programmer, USB standalone board that we can actually use for USB interface to the PC too. It even came with some nice little jumpers, so really neat little package. We're going to try interfacing this to an upcoming Arduino project for possibly the home automation / security project. Not sure when we're going to get that started. I'll probably get it started in the next little while once some other sensors arrive, but probably won't really get any traction on it until the fall. It's going to require linking multiple Arduinos wirelessly across my house, and I'm thinking several Arduinos, and we might even be able to incorporate that 3D printer monitoring into it too, because hey, why not? It's a one-shot, all-inclusive Skynet monitoring of the home. Let's see how far we can push it, and of course I'll release the code open source as always. Everything goes out to you guys, so hopefully maybe we can even work on it together. I don't know, guys. It's we'll see what happens. Pretty excited about it though. That is all I had for that. Hi, Dave. If I can get my PC to comply here, we'll be all set, guys. Let's go back to the comments, see what we've got. Great Network says TISB supplements ADSB's air-to-air services to provide complete situational awareness in the cockpit of all traffic known to the ATC system, like TCAS. Huh. Very cool. I'll have to check that out. You've got me curious now. I have to go check this out because I'm usually pretty up to date on most of these items, but that one I totally missed the boat on, guys. Great Network says, will you relaunch? Yes. I have to talk to one of our founding members who donated the GoPro. Actually, this one, Brett, if you see this, got your GoPro back. Thank you. Oops. Smashing things. Nice. Everything is all set and functional. I see no reason why we won't relaunch. I don't think there's any reason for me to tear down the equipment, and the only problem is some funds for the cost of the launch. And I was a little surprised at the total price of the helium, and it came in at a little over 200 Canadian dollars for the helium used, which I find a little cost prohibitive for what we got out of it. When you factor in the fact we paid about 100 Canadian dollars for the balloon itself, and now we found a couple of sources that might be a little better, we can knock that down a bit. But you're still looking at a significant cost by the time you've got your fuel to chase it and those items. But it's not bad. So I'm really thinking what I want is I would love to hit over 80,000 feet. We missed our mark by a significant margin. We only hit about 58,000 feet. And the pictures and video were good, no question, but I've got the equipment and I would really love to get some sensor readings and pictures and video from that extra little bit of altitude. So I really think we should relaunch, but the other part of it is I think we'll wait until the fall, until the air clears out a little bit. We had a lot of haze, and it's just due to the time of year here. The air currents have died down. We've got the Niagara Escarpment to the east, and things just sort of pile up with smog, and it is what it is. It's not like Los Angeles, but it was a perfectly clear day, and we had not the most perfect clear view of the ground, which if we wait till fall and do it again, we get those big fast moving air masses and it clears everything right out. So yeah, I'm thinking we should relaunch. Time will tell though, guys. We'll have to see what happens. Looks like I have caught up with chat comments, guys. In closing, I didn't have a whole lot more. I am going to open up the Skype lines now. If we have anyone with us, they will be open. Feel free to add and dial in at your leisure. If we don't get anyone, that's cool too. We can catch up next time, no problem. Let me get my status changed here, and we should be good. Perfect, guys. Skype lines are open. If you feel like giving it a call, knock yourself out. In closing, guys, I would like to, going forward in the near future, do some collaboration projects with you guys. I'm working on how to make that all a reality, but we have some really great makers and some real specialists in the community who have some really great ideas. And I'd love to see some of these items, like it doesn't have to be work, but if we have an item that kind of interests ourselves that we're working on and we want to bat some things back and forth, we have some really great live tools that we can share items back and forth. We can also use the forum and maybe dedicated areas of the forum for long-term projects, such as the Arduino stuff or the Raspberry Pi stuff, or an item I'd love to get my hands on in the near future. I'd love to start on the PC Duino. Not a huge fan of the Raspberry Pi these days, just because I'm just not that good with it, but I'm pretty familiar with the Arduino stuff, so I'm thinking the PC Duino will be a little closer to what I need, what'll get me moving on some projects. So, but yeah, that's some thoughts. I noticed just while we were broadcasting here, Kurt from Strange Beacons did post in the community that he ended up being tied up tonight, and he's going to try and make next week. So Kurt, if you're watching this, sorry you couldn't make it tonight, buddy. Definitely catch up with you in the future. Glad you sent a message. I did post last week again. It's the second time I think I've posted on it in the community, the Hackaday prize. I would really love to see if anyone from our community or any items that excite us get featured on the Hackaday prize. Guys, it's a trip to space or a cash out value. So all our goofy little DIY projects and of any area, this chance to get a trip to space out of the deal. That's pretty damn cool. I'm a little excited about it. But yeah, we'll see what happens. We did have one other item I will maybe just touch on while we've got a few moments. We had a member post in the community on the Orbi distributed wireless microcontroller. So it's another derivative of the Arduino boards. This one's from a Canadian supplier. it looks like they're doing pretty good of their goal. 23 days to go. 2,700 sponsored of the $5,000 goal. But it looks like it's more or less maybe for home automation and maybe some. They mention robotics, but it just strikes me as more of a home automation type device. But a little bit interesting, guys. These all-in-one boards that are being developed, they're more a turnkey solution again for those who may have a bit less experience with dealing with linking a bunch of Arduino items together. So I'm a little excited when I see, also a little dubious. Because there's 1,000,001 of them out there, and 1,000,001 variants. This looks like a pretty stand-up crew. They've got their own crew t-shirts. That's always nice to see, but I'm always just a little bit dubious that it's just another run at a clone of an existing item. But I wish them all the best. You can check this out on the makeme.org G+ community, and let me know your thoughts on it and see what you think of it and what its applications could be. Sounds interesting to me. What have we got? Steven joined us. Hey Steven, good to have you tonight. Did I miss much? Yep, we're just winding down, Steven. I've got the Skype lines open. If anyone wants to dial in, they're welcome to. But otherwise, I think we've covered a lot of the content for tonight, buddy. Steven said, by the way, I love some of the launch shots you showed the other day. Thanks. That was my lazy approach at getting some of the content out there. I wanted to share the mission debrief without someone having to watch the entire 1 hour live broadcast. So I cut that chunk out, which was still like 20 minutes. And then I thought, well, geez, I can dub in some of the video footage real quick and easy. Then my editing program gave me fits that day. It turned out it was a PC hardware problem, which I've since resolved. But I ended up only being able to put in a few pieces. And that was part of the reason I was having so much trouble editing the full-length footage and why I still don't have it out. I don't know what I'm going to do with that. I should just edit it all together as one big chunk, as someone suggested, and then post it on the website so people can see it in the meantime while I work on a more polished version and try and trim it down to probably 10 minutes or less. But yeah, we'll see. I'm just so far behind, guys. Great Network said we still expect a fine montage of them. Yes, you will get it. Like I said, I'm so far behind, but I'll get there. Steven said, okay, we'll have to watch it back. Guys, I think we're caught up on the comments. If you haven't already given the video a thumbs up, we'd really appreciate it, guys. It really helps when you guys hit that thumbs up button on the video. If you find it enjoying, if not, hit the thumbs down. Hey, actually, it has the same effect, believe it or not, guys. It's engagement. I monitor the YouTube stats pretty frequently, and I'm seeing a pretty good trend in getting the channel better since I've really tried to make some of the videos a little bit better too. So these videos now are a departure from that, and they're just my happy time with you guys. So I'm truly enjoying this, FYI, guys. That's my ramble. And I'm just gonna slip over to the YouTube side of things and see what we see. What I'm doing, guys, I'm just going back and forth between the YouTube control room here, showing my stream, just making sure that we have a decent stream coming across. I'm also comparing the comments between what is in there and what you guys are doing live. It looks like YouTube's finally getting things caught up, guys. I'm not sure what the delay is until I can only tell when we have a live call, especially when you guys leave the audio on in the background. I can tell last week we were only a few seconds behind, so that was pretty cool. So, Steven said, I would watch the 1 hour show, lol, but I'm glad it was successful and I would love a Skype call next time. Well, the Skype calls are open, Steven, if you want to call in tonight. Otherwise, I will be live again next week at the same time, same place. I'm going to try and make this an ongoing event, guys. I'm still doing some work on the audio and video quality. I've had to trim it down a little bit to get the stream to work out well coming through for you guys. I'm working on being able to bump that up. We should be able to at least get a full proper 720 feed coming through, and that will actually bump up the quality of the audio a little bit better too. So it's an ongoing work. For anyone who's watched my videos lately, you'll know I'm a little obsessed with trying to get the audio, mostly the audio, up to snuff, and I think I've done that. Lately, I think I hit a pretty good method for capturing my videos and editing them. I'm pretty proud of the changes. Way to go on the video side, though, and the editing. I'm not going to obsess over the editing anytime soon, though. I'm going to try and stick to mainly the content itself. It's a balance. The more work I do on them, the longer it takes for me to edit a video. The last ones, like the Arduino, getting started in Arduino video, it took me not long to take, but between the audio and the video editing, it was a lot of hours actually for such a short video. It was kind of sickening. I did over agonize over the video a little bit, but it turned out it got more likes than any other video I've put out ever in that short amount of time. So I have to say, I think I hit on something that works. Steven said, nah, I'm going to leave it till next week and think of some questions. That's fine, Steven. No worries. You don't need questions to dial in here. This is pretty informal, this broadcast, and it will continue to be. Welcome questions, too, but I'm not a great question answerer unless it's on a topic that I know pretty well. I'll throw my hat in the ring on most things, but I'm by no means an expert on anything, guys. I just like sharing and like the time I spend with you guys. So pretty powerful little community we've got started here, and I'm really starting to enjoy it. Well, guys, I think that's about the extent of it for this week. I'm going to cut it a little short, and hopefully we can carry this on next week. Same time, same place. Really, really glad you could join me today, guys. Really appreciate all your comments, all your questions and answers, and I just love it. Great Network also said tutorials are always a harass experience. Yes, they are. Although sometimes I title my stuff as tutorials, it really isn't. It's just a coverage of that particular component of that thing I maybe know a little bit about, or did it all the wrong ways. And I try and tell people, okay, just don't do it this way. This way is better. So, but even then, yeah, they're still kind of a tutorial, and they're just, you can agonize over them forever. And basically get yourself into this nasty place where, like I did on, I'll be honest, guys, I took a video this week, actually for the second time, on doing an extruder nozzle clean out on my solid old 3D. There's a lot of people who have problems with 3D printer clogs, and there's not a lot of good videos out there. Maybe there is some, I didn't see them, so I thought I'd do a bit of a tutorial on it. Man, I just got into this nasty place where everything I taped, either audio or video wise, was not good enough, and I had to trash it before I got to the point where I was actually doing the work on the component. And 2 official takes, full lighting, full audio, everything, both completely trashed. This is going on like 9 days now, and I still never actually got to the point of actually doing the work. It's just obsession. So I need to get over it and just go ahead and do it and go back and not really worry about how it turns out, But I really want to bring quality content, so I want to do it right. Make sure other people can do it right and not make the same mistakes I did on the first 5 times before I'm trying to take video on it, because there are severe mistakes that are made and they cost money, and that sucks. Anyway, that's my rant on that video. Anyway, guys, I'm really glad you could join me today. Good luck in all your electronics and projects and DIY ventures. I have a plan maybe for if you get silly question, guys, do you want to see a video on how I brew DIY homebrew beer? I got to brew a batch tomorrow or the next day. If you want to see a video on it, throw a comment in, because it's not hard for me to video it. It's nothing special. It's just kit beer. It's utility beer. But if you want to see that, let me know. And really glad you could join me tonight. Really glad I got to interact with you guys. Had a blast, and hopefully we'll see you next week. Thanks, guys, for watching. See you again.